Hello, everyone. It's your boy Josh Ox,
It's your boy Tay.
and we back again with another review. The Boys Season 5, Episode 5. We almost there. It was a great show, by the way. I'm not going to give too much away. We may discuss some spoilers, but before we get started, like, subscribe, leave a comment. And the spoilers, we might just talk about key points in the episode. We're not going to do necessarily play by play. So just throwing that
Nah,
out there.
kid.
All right. So, Tay, anything
Key
caught your eye
moments. Yeah,
outside of
nah.
the supernatural cast reunion?
Hey, that was that was most of the episode was the
That
supernatural
that was
cast
like the
reunion.
highlight of this episode. I hate to say that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But now you know, we well, with the title of it called One Shots. Um I mean, I kind of like the mode they went with this one. This is the aftermath of them finding out about the V1, nobody, the case being empty, all that. Um,
Hmm.
like you said, Supernatural reunion. That was like kind of like the highlight of the show for real was seeing those two guys back together. Um, but the funny thing is seeing them together, but in the boys' fashion, made it so much hilarious.
The
Like it was
troller was
hilarious.
hard in that episode. I'm not even gonna talk about the baby or the puff baby or that was
Oh
wild,
man,
bro. You know it's bad when Homelander even looked at it like this because
that
Homelander
joint,
judging like, oh god, oh.
that joint, and there was another one that had me dying laughing. That had, like they was trolling. But your man said, yeah, with like a funding was like I think it was so with the TV show. They's like, yeah, Sony Pictures TV. I was like, oh,
Bro, they took so many shots at it. They took a shot at California too. They showed California with the bro. They was like trolling their time.
like it was an overall it was a hilarious episode. It was a good episode. But but on the like on that outside the comedy aspect of it, we see the pretty much the lengths that Homelander will go to try to find this V1 because of the fact that he know his time is coming up. Um, he after he gets out of the chamber and everything, he kind of like had his little move with Soldier Boy for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He he
Mm.
kind of he kind of went away from they kind of like went back on good terms, as I would say. Um, in the episode, because like I said, just trying to find the V1. Um, we also got to go with this is going to be a major spoiler, but I'll say that for the last part.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to see. So apparently, so we'll start with the whole thing with Homelander and Soldier Boy tracking down Mister Marathon for some odd reason, who's another speedster, which that was kind of weird to me.
Second, yeah,
Yeah,
eight train replaced them. So yeah, then they trolled
yeah,
them with all the movies. Like the Sony line was wild. That was a shot fired. I was like, oh man, Sony taking L's because they do got a reputation of making bad hero movies, comic book movies. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, so yeah.
yeah. Then but like him being a washed up, like the washed up version, like Sleazy, but he
Mhm.
also was in a drug fueled mansion with I think his name is like Male Chemical, like
Yeah,
you
man,
know,
he had a toxic breath and stuff like that. Yeah.
um,
Oh,
like I
also
said,
another troll. They was trolling like celebrities that got locked up, like got put in the
yes,
camps. Like
yes,
so, it was like I think it was a jab at Hollywood. That's just my they was trolling Hollywood. By the way, oh yeah,
yeah.
Post Malone. He's like like they like it was
They
like
like
this is
having all
trolling
like
at its finest, bro.
and then like having like Seth Rogen and everybody in that joint too. Like
Fun,
it
fun,
was
fun fact: Seth Rogen is the executive producer of the Boys. That's the
yes,
that's the fun fact. Fun fact. Yeah.
yeah, but seeing seeing them all together, um, you know, like I said, going in for them to see it. Then it was funny because seeing Soldier Boy treating Mr. Barathon like that little brother, like a disappointed little brother. Wow. Um, you know, malpractice literally turned into a cloud so he could stay away from the fight. Like that was kind of weird too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he was just trying. He was not trying to fight. Yeah, you know, he just knocked out Homelander. Said, "All right, I'm out. Peace out. I'm gone."
Mhm.
Pretty much. Um, but yeah, like you said, like going into everything with them going to, you know, he wanted the V1, and he wanted to find out. When he found out that actually now this is where it gets sticky. Well, not sticky. This is where we see how it's like a revolving door now. You know, they both he wanted the V1 Soldier Boy. I mean, and in the process of him finding out that Mr. Marathon sold the sample to Bomb Site. Everybody thought Bomb Site went there and got it. No, Mr. Marathon actually sold it to him years ago.
I think that like
Years
5 years
ago.
ago. Five
Yeah,
years ago when he got that. Because remember when they went to go look for it, it looked like it was already gone. Somebody already been there, but I didn't know it was
yeah,
5 years ago. But yeah, somebody already
yeah.
got it.
So yeah, it's been some time. Um, but then after he told him that, Soldier Boy snaps pretty much, and pretty much the chase has begun between Mr. Barathon and Soldier Boy as far as like inside the mansion, where we see
Yeah.
him run through the whole celebrity crowd.
Yeah, no, pretty much his downfall was Baby All. By the way.
Yes.
Yeah, the Baby
Yeah.
All jokes. I know. Well, I will also add to it. If you go into that memorial Rainbow Bear room, it was actually a lot of Easter eggs in that. I think they pointing to the new show. You know they're gonna do a prequel with
Yeah.
so
Yep.
showing the old comic books and old characters. Like I think
Hmm.
it was like the 70s, 60s, 70s. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 67. You know the style of the comic books and stuff like
Well,
that.
they said yeah. The comic book was in the '60s, but I think they're going
16
with
and
the
70s.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then with the show, they're going with him in the '50s, if I'm not
50s, yeah,
mistaken.
when they first started. When he first
So
started,
yeah,
I think it's like post World War II, around World War II time. So it's gonna probably be 40s,
yeah,
50s, probably that type of era. But yeah,
yeah,
that was another good part about it. But pretty much
yeah,
this episode was them looking for V1 in a
yeah,
nutshell. Yeah.
yeah. And then I mean, before we get to the big spoiler of this whole thing, I also want to touch on Sage and her vision.
Oh yeah, she got a plan. I think I know. I got an idea what her plan is, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
not looking good
diabolical. But
for her.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Also, you
told
gotta also you gotta factor in. Oh, my bad.
no,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm saying you also got to factor in Homelander and they pretty much want all the superheroes to come back to the United States, which
Yes.
is part of her plan too as well.
Yep.
But hey, yep.
So yeah, her vision was that you know we actually get an inside look of her brain and how it works. The visual effects that they use for her, her smart vision was incredible though. Like seeing how she could thought process of the whole like that whole thing was crazy. Um, it looked like it was a HUD for reality.
Mm.
Like it looked like she's like actually seeing what be played out before she could actually think on it, or say it. Pretty much, she could think on it before she say it. Um, she's another one. She's another one that's playing, playing chess while everybody else is playing like goldfish or something like that. Like she's
Mhm.
way ahead of it. She's like on 5D chess,
Mhm.
and everybody else is at goldfish. She literally, she's literally trying to spark the, like you said, the global conflict, just to purge the weak or
Mhm.
prawn the weak, because like you said, she's trying to bring them all over here so she could have this plan, playing out. Um, Now, I will ask this question: is she the most dangerous person on the show right now? I say yes.
Yeah, yeah. She's the most dangerous person. Gotta be.
Yeah, because she actually can.
She's 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, that's all right.
10 steps
So
ahead.
yeah, then the other thing was, hey, we gotta go ahead with Terror, man.
Mhm.
Terror. That dog with that damn Homelander dog.
You
No.
know, I don't know why I keep having flashbacks or fantasy are humping Homelander, but it's wild. But remember, guys, this
Bro.
episode, don't feed your dog chocolate. I know. I
Yes.
think it ate like a souffle or something in the trash. I forgot. I think it's a
Mhm.
chocolate souffle. Yeah.
Well, they try to
But,
feed the dog. They try to feed his dog a steak, like literally, like right before he ran off, and
mhm.
ate in the trash. It went into the trash can. So they had to save Terror the whole
Yeah.
time. But his whole like thing was Homelander giving him daggone turkey legs, talking about F him the whole time. Like we don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
We don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. But
Mhm.
but that was like a fun, like I said, this whole episode was hilarious. So that was kind of like they cut
Yeah.
off for like the
And
comedy
also, Butcher and them now know that Bomb Site got the V1. So that's also included in that scene.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
David decided what to do with the V1. I think they wanted to, if I'm not Butcher wanted to destroy it, whereas Huey wanted to like give it to like Starlight and them for, to be
yeah.
immune
He
to the
want to give it.
virus and stuff
He want to give it to the team so they could be immune, but
like
Butcher
that.
want to destroy it so nobody can't have it at all.
He changed his mind after the dog. I guess the
Yeah,
dog changed his mind. So Butcher
yeah.
do got a heart, I guess.
It
He's
just
not
so
so
happened
cold
had to
blooded.
be. Yeah, it had to be Terror to bring him to human. Like
Come on, Tay. Come
I
on,
was
Tay.
like,
It's a dog. You can't go wrong with it. Come on, dog. Dog's
come on,
lovable,
come on.
but you not like a dog. Man, you not like dogs. It's
But
dogs.
that was it. But that was his dog. So he's like, nah.
Yeah,
If anybody going out, it ain't gonna be him. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
But yeah, but
All right. Another thing I like to add, we got to talk about how they show Black Noir. Your man is a stage play actor in the Broadway. That was pretty
that
funny.
was my
Yeah,
next. That was my next joint too.
and your
That
boy
was
D going to
see,
sabotage him. Like your man was a method actor, bro. He was actually.
yo man sent an eel down through the toilet
Bruh,
to
I
take
don't
out
know
Adam.
what's up
Bro.
with this show. This show is like,
Took that man out in the toilet, yo. Are you like really?
yeah, man. Just because he couldn't chase his dream. That's crazy. It's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a back and forth.
I got, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, I got Black Noir turning on this man so fast
Yeah.
that it's not gonna be funny how fast he
Hmm.
turn on him. But
He already betrayed him once. Remember,
that's what I'm
he
saying.
gassed him so he could get a. Bro,
And
that
then you
was
go turn
great.
around,
Yeah.
and then you go turn around and try to like embarrass that man on the podcast. Oh, I was like, yeah, he about to. And then you turn around now, the third strike. Now you follow the man into his secret, quote unquote, his secret, where he's a Broadway actor, and then the dude that didn't like your play or like how you act, you end up murking him. So
Yeah, man.
Black Noir, Black Noir is definitely gonna turn on that dude. There ain't no ifs, ands,
Yeah.
buts about it.
Yeah. And we also got. Well, I'll let you go. We got a big, something big happen.
Yeah, so
We didn't forget about the church. Homelander got a Bible coming out too.
So
The Homelander edition.
That was going to tie into the big reveal. So that's a good segue. Yeah, they working on the church, the Church of Homelander. They already started printing. Well, not printing, but it was more like they got the
like a prototype of the Bible.
The prototype
Like
of the Bible.
yeah, like a prototype of it. Yeah.
And all the shebang about making Homelander this new messiah. pretty much. But tying into that though, we later find out that this is going to be pretty much the spoiler. So if anybody has not seen it, stop it, watch it, come back to it later. Firecracker. She has bit the bullet. She has died from the hands of Homelander because of the fact that she couldn't really. She didn't even buy into the whole thing with Homelander. Let's just call it what it is. She didn't buy into it.
Nope. It was Soldier Boy who did it. Pillow talk.
Oh.
He was there. Yeah, it was Soldier Boy. No, don't leave that part out. Soldier Boy was snitching. He was being a chatty pet. That's what he was doing. He was being a chatty pet. That's what he was doing.
Touche. He was in that joint talking too much. I do give you that. Yes. Touche. He was talking too much. But she still was she still let her faith. She couldn't turn on her faith. That's what she known. That's always how she been doing it. That's how she used her show. Everything that they gave her as far as her character, pretty much. They used that, for that whole thing. So they found out about
Oh yeah, go ahead. They found out.
Yeah.
My bad, I didn't cut you off.
No, you good. He just found out that she's not really down for the cause, pretty much. She can only go so far. She could go as far as.
Also what they did. They did like break down her old church and her father figure, former minister.
Yep.
Telling him he's a kitty diddler and stuff like that. And she threw away her little baby Jesus doll, like the little baby Jesus doll. She's like she one of those 100% all in her faith. So yeah, I think she didn't want to turn her back on her faith. So, but that's pretty much
Yeah, and that was the whole thing about the one shot, pretty much, which that was kind of like focusing on her a little bit because of the fact that she didn't want to turn her back on her faith. Just point blank period. That's what it was. Yeah. She showed her she's still loyal to. She was loyal to Homelander, but not to the extent of faith aspect of it. She'll do everything else, even be his breastfeeding mama, but not. She will not do literally call him Jesus, pretty much. Nah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So due to that, he just dragged her. He just literally just pushed her head into the daggone golden eagle wing, and that was it. Then
rest in peace.
Pretty much.
You know what I think? Because you gotta think. I think a lot of people going to end up dying towards the end. Before this episode ends, I think a lot of the main characters are going
on both sides.
On both sides. So I think on both sides. I'm trying to think of who would not. You got to think of who has plot armor, who doesn't have plot armor. Yeah. That's how you got to think.
I'm not gonna lie. Based off how this whole thing looked, and now that I see how this character works, who I'm gonna say is Sister Sage, I think she's gonna end up joining the boys. I think she's gonna or at least she can play a double agent.
I think she a neutral party. She don't want neither side to win. Yeah, I think she just want her plan to work. I'm gonna go somewhere. I know there's not a yes or it's not a black or white answer. It's more like a gray area answer.
Yeah. So I think she's more than likely going to join not join the boys, but she's going to team up with them, and then they're going to try to figure out this plan or whatever. Because I think Homelander, I think the effect of Firecracker is going to push Sister Sage into pretty much teaming up with the boys, at least for this episode, at least for the next episode, at least.
Okay, all right. Well, I actually like this episode. What rating would you give this episode? 0 to 10.
It was the most funniest one this whole season too. That's the funny.
There was a lot of trolling going on in this episode. I'm just letting you know it was like all time trolling in this episode.
Damn. I actually like it was actually pretty fun. Like it was funny. It actually gave you everything. Like I said, the sister stage, like brain, how it shows how it works. I won't give it an 8, even though it should be an 8, but I'm not gonna give it an 8. I give it a 7 point. I'm right on the cusp. I'm 7.9.
Okay. I'm actually with you about the 7.9. I'm going to price this right you, but this time I actually agree with you. 7.9. I'm going to say
It should be
7.8
an
just
8.
to just I'm gonna say 7.8 just to troll you, but it's really a 7.9. I'm just trolling you. I'm
Yeah.
just trolling. It's a price is right joke, guys. Just get used to it when we do ratings. I know I need to get new material. Price is right. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Also, leave a comment down below. If you got any theories or you feel we left something out, feel free to drop that down. Okay. Oh, check out our
Yes,
channel too as well. We got other content too as well.
yes,
All
sir.
right. As always, peace and hair grease.
Peace and love, y'all. See y'all next week.